Well, it's midweek. Hello, good evening. Welcome. This is Ghana Tonight. We're live from news about Desawe Kanda, also live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook and on DSTV channel 279. We're all across the world on 3news.com. I am Alfred Ocansey. Tonight, the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, has been directed to launch full investigation into illegal mining allegations, including issues raised by the Professor Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng report on the defunct Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. We provide in-depth analysis and discussion of the unfolding development. Stay with us, because the two persons who are mentioned in this report, that's the letter from the Attorney General to EOCO, have all come out to deny those allegations. Stay with us. Also, the minority in Parliament is calling for sanctions against individuals allegedly involved in the Ablekuma North election rerun violence. They say this would demonstrate President Mahama's commitment to ensuring violent-free elections. We'll hear from them. As the new 1 Ghana cedi fuel levy takes effect today, we examine its real impact on consumers. We also explore the government's push for appointees to switch to solar-powered electric vehicles as part of its broader energy transition efforts. Stay with us here on Ghana Tonight. We also got some news coming through tonight of the collapse of a Galamsey pit that has reportedly claimed some lives somewhere in the eastern region. We'll give you full details exclusively coming to you here on Ghana Tonight, so stay with us. We've got some concerning videos which we would advise with viewer discretion. After this quick one, as always, you can interact with us on Facebook and on X. Ghana Tonight, let's get talking.
President John Dramani Mahama has vowed to ensure the Ashanti region gets its fair share of national development, thanking the youth for their crucial role in his 2024 election victory. He is sure that all uncompleted projects in the region will see the light of day by next year.
The people of Ashanti region and Ghana deserve better. And that is why I've directed that no viable project will be abandoned under this administration. We are a government of continuity and results. Projects we will continue and complete in this region include the KJTM Market Phase 2 project. We are going to accelerate work on it, and by the grace of God, next year we'll be able to go with Ocansey to the second and open that market.
The minority in Parliament is demanding the immediate dismissal of YEA CEO Malik Basintali and the Minerals Development Fund boss Hannah Bisu over what they say is their glorification of the chaos at the Ablekuma North constituency rerun. Addressing journalists in Parliament, MP for Etiwa West Laurette Koko Asante, on behalf of the NPP group, demanded that President Mahama dismisses the two government officials to signal his abhorrence of electoral violence.
President Mahama must immediately dismiss Dr. Hannah Louisa Bisu from her position as CEO of the Minerals Development Fund and Malik Basintali from his role as acting CEO of the Youth Employment Agency. Their celebration and justification of violence against opposition figures disqualifies them from holding any public office. This dismissal must happen to demonstrate that the government does not condone political violence.
The Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullahi Jinapor, has detailed the significant progress made in revitalizing the country's struggling energy sector. Speaking at the Government Accountability Series at the Jubilee House, the Yape Kusaugu MP provided a comprehensive update on reforms across power generation, renewable energy and petroleum production.
Sky Power had threatened to shut down. We had a lot of extensive engagement with them. Under the leadership of His Excellency the President, we were able to raise some money to pay some portions of the debt, quite significant, and I can make that available to you. When we assumed office, ENI, the previous administration had drawn down the guarantee, which was 500 million, to almost zero. So far, we've restored about half of that. And we have a program with ENI and World Bank to restore the guarantee back to 500 million.
The Western Central Regional Police Command has arrested 2 men, Foster DeLord and Prince Wavi, for impersonating Ghana Gold Board task force officials and extorting money from gold buyers. The suspects, who claim to be ex-military officers, were found with items including a handcuff, pepper spray, taser, uniform and 500 Ghana cedis. They have been remanded by the Takwat Circuit Court as investigations continue. The police are urging the public to beware of individuals posing as government officials without proper ID. Government has approved 3 out of 4 demands made by the Nurses and Midwives Association. At a news conference in Accra, the association president, Perpetual Furiampufu, announced that book and research uniforms and fuel allowances will be included in the mid-year budgets. However, the 8% non-basic allowance has been suspended due to errors in its computation. She also confirmed that the association has called off plans for a second strike.
The National Council of the Association, at this point in time, has taken a decision to halt all intended industrial actions pending the full implementation of the entirety of the collective agreements. Leadership has a responsibility to follow up on the agreement between the parties, and we take this opportunity to assure our dear nurses and midwives that we will do nothing less.
There's more news on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. This is Ghana Tonight. We're, as always, live on 3FM 92.7, also on TV3 Ghana on Facebook and on YouTube. And it's probably brought to you by Flamingo Paint, Simply Superior, Sasso Insecticide, Spray and Qualcomm, Tum Precom. There's some news we'll be monitoring for the past over an hour ago, and this is it. A trotro driver has driven into the fence wall of former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's residence in Nima, here in Accra. Now, it is not yet clear what may have caused the accident, which occurred in the evening of today, earlier this evening. Now, however, eyewitnesses suspect this green commercial bus or trotro vehicle may have experienced a brake failure, thus veered off the street and hit the fence wall of the former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's Nima residence. That's what you see on the screen there. 3 individuals have allegedly been injured due to the accident and rushed to the hospital. One of the injured individuals is the driver's assistant, what we call the mate in local parlance. Now, he was coughing. From the eyewitness report we got, he was coughing with some blood also oozing from his mouth. The incident happened around 7:30 p.m. That's almost 3 hours ago, according to the eyewitness account. The residence located near the Nima police station is in a high traffic zone, and that is what you're seeing on the screen. This green commercial bus, the trotro, that drove into the fence wall of the former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's Nima residence. So as we speak, we understand that the Nima police have had some police officers also guarding that particular area that has been broken down as a result of this accident, because that essentially exposes much of the former President Akufo-Addo's residence from what the eyewitness told us. So that is the information we got earlier today, and this is what you're seeing right now. It's not very clear what has happened to the driver of this green commercial bus, this trotro, but we're keeping an eye on it. We would definitely get some more updates as it unfolds here on Ghana Tonight. As always, and you to look out for it on 3news.com. If there are any updates, we'll definitely put it out there for you. But let's stay on matters that's coming up this evening, because we're getting information as well coming up next here on Ghana Tonight. Not too long ago, just about an hour ago, 3 people have been confirmed dead, with several others feared trapped in a mining pit at Achimwenchi in the Denchambor district of the Eastern Region. Now, the chairman of the District Security Council, who also serves as the district chief executive, Umar Ahmed, confirmed this incident. Now, what you're seeing on the screen is where we understand this incident happened. Now, rescue efforts are still underway. However, the operation is facing significant challenges due to resistance from some miners, hampering the efforts of police and other emergency personnel. And Umar Ahmed is a DCE for the Denchambor area. He's going to be joining us on the telephone for a quick conversation on this particular development. Quite unfortunate, a development as we're seeing there in Achimwenchi, specifically in the Eastern Region, following the collapse of a mining pit. According to the sources, 4 young men have reportedly died, while about 20 others, we understand, are still believed to be trapped underground. Let's get a bit more detail into this right now. And joining us on the telephone is the chair of the District Security Council and the DCE for the area, Umar Ahmed. Ahmed, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
My brother, how are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. Certainly all is not well in your district, is it not, with what we are hearing right now?
In fact, all is not well in my district. This afternoon, we had an information that a mining pit has trapped some, I would say Galamsey workers. So they were entrapped there. So quickly, I did inform the divisional commander, inform also the Akutia police commander, and also inform the FPU unit at Pamkesi. But unfortunately, they were not having vehicles, so I had to use my own vehicle to go and pick them. So all these 3 units were, and we moved to the scene. So from the town to where the incidents happened, it's almost 7 kilometers. So we walked deep into the forest. We got there and we realized that people are trapped in there. We did all our best. We were able to get some fuel pumping machine to start pumping the water out. But looking at the level of water in the pit, we need to have a bigger machine that can pump all that water inside the pit. So in fact, we did all our best and we couldn't get any machine to kind of pump the water. So likely we have one gentleman who offered to give us one tough machine to kind of pump the water. But it was late in the night. So we have to leave the scene and get back. But at the scene, I realized that almost everybody over there from the town were not remorse of what happens. They came there, even the miners over there were asking them to bring out their excavators so that we can create a channel where the water can even pass, so we can have access to trap there. But I'm telling my brother, none of them even came to our aid. We did all our best. Within seconds, if we see the number of youth that have come at the site, we're all afraid.
I see.
The way they were chanting, as if the dead people in the pit were nothing to them. They were chanting. We don't know what is happening.
They were chanting as in what?
They were chanting war song.
War songs.
I don't know what is happening. I was telling them people are trapped in the pit. Let's find ways and means to take them out.
And they said they will not allow you to rescue them.
They were not allowing us.
Why? Did you engage them to ask them why?
I don't know why.
No, did you ask them?
I don't know why.
Did you ask them?
You can't even have time to even ask them. They were shouting. The police commander was telling them to relax. They were not giving us ways. So we have to find our way out to the main street. They blocked the path that they will not allow me to go. What is happening? We are here to help you remove this hole from the pit, but yet you are yet blocking us not go. If you look at the way they did to my car, it's very unfortunate.
What, they vandalized your car?
They vandalized my car.
What exactly is the state of your car?
If you look at where I normally sit, the driver's side, I don't know whether they use pickers or anything. They used to hit the car. The other part of the car is fault.
I see.
In fact, I was so shocked to hear that people are trapped in the pit. People are trapped. You can see that something is happening in the water there. But they were not concerned. They were totally not concerned. In fact, the way the youth troop to the side, if they don't leave the place, I don't know what will happen to me.
I see. So if I understand the chronology of events as you have just stated, this incident happened this afternoon. You got news of it. You went there trying to rescue them. You asked the miners to help you with their excavators so you could create some entry point in there, and they didn't. The youth rather came to prevent you from rescuing these people. And exactly. you don't know why they came in to prevent you from rescuing them, because you say you couldn't even engage them because they were chanting war songs. But the police was present. The police was present, no?
The number of youth override the policemen around.
Okay.
The number of youth that came there was more than the police people that were assembled.
Right, but did the police attempt to engage these young people instead of confronting them?
They will not even allow you to have engagement with them. So what we do is that we have to get back to our car and move on. But they blocked the road. So
you have to flee to safety.
Exactly. In fact, the rate at which the youth are trooping to the site, you look at the distance from the town to the site. If you don't leave the area, what will happen will be a different thing altogether.
So you abandoned the rescue effort because the young people stormed the place and threatened to harm you, and that you should stop the rescue effort?
I have to abandon the place because we are in there to help rescue the people in the pits. But the youth are not willing. They are coming in in their numbers, chanting war songs. Then the only thing to do is to leave the area.
Is this right? But I'm trying to understand this. But is this a Galamsey-prone area?
Yes, a Galamsey-prone area. We did all our best. We did all our best to stop them. You go there with the police and they will block. You go there with the police and they will block the whole road.
No.
They will not even allow you to enter the town. They will never even allow you. We've done it several times, trying to stop them from the illegal mining they are doing there. It's totally illegal mining they are doing there. We did all our best. So you go there with the police, and what they will do, you have to go back.
So you say you've been trying to get them to stop the illegal mining. You know that's what's happening there. If this has gone beyond you, your strength, and that as a district you can't stop these people from engaging in illegal mining, have you escalated it to the regional level so that the task force?
The divisional commander, I've informed the divisional commander, and we've started from Suave, trapping all those illegal miners. So it is only today that we had the information from Wenchi. We started arresting all those illegal mining from Suave and coming down to Wenchi. So it was this week that we planned moving to the Wenchi, and this thing happened.
I see. So now you can confirm to us that you were able to retrieve 4 bodies?
Before we got there, those guys over there were able to retrieve 4 bodies, but 3 bodies actually died. But one of them, you can see that it's a little bit life in him. So they've taken them all to Salvation Army Clinic. The 3 have been put in morgue.
Right. Any idea of how many may have been trapped under this collapse pit?
From the small investigation I did about it, we can have more than 30 people trapped in the pit.
More than how many?
More than 30.
30.
30 people.
Wow. And so now that you've abandoned the search and rescue effort, it means they might have died by now. You can't go back.
By this time, they might have died. Tomorrow morning, we shall move to the site. We shall go and continue the rescue. We will not even mind that we'll try to get more hands from the military to move to the site and make sure that we are able to remove the dead. So
why didn't you do that today? If you're going to get the military tomorrow after they've died, you are going to retrieve bodies. Why didn't you do that?
We've made the calls, so we are waiting. If they come, because of what they are doing now, we need to get more hands so we can move in to do any rescue that we can rescue for those who are in the pit.
No, I get your point. You're just saying that you're going to contact the military, right, to help you tomorrow to retrieve the bodies. I'm saying that if there was that opportunity to contact the military to complement your work, why didn't you do that today? So after you flee the scene, you call the military to come in, and they could have helped you to at least confront these young people whom you say were chanting war songs, but you just left the place, and now you are going to retrieve dead bodies with the military.
Currently we are in Akutia waiting for the military. If they have to come this night, we shall move there. So we are waiting for the military. When they come at any time, we'll move to the site and make sure we rescue those bodies in the pit.
Well, so this is a distress call right now. I mean, if the Ghana Armed Forces and if the military, as you're saying, you're going to contact them after these people have died. That's where my concern is, but you don't seem to get the point I'm trying to make. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Very much. I appreciate your time. Ahmed Omar is the Denchambor District Chief Executive. Unfortunately, if what we know and what he has just told us anything to go by, he suspects 30 people who have been trapped under this collapsed mine in that particular area. And they had to abandon the search and rescue earlier today because the young people in the area, a Galamsey-prone area, prevented them from rescuing these people who have been trapped there. So far, they've been able to retrieve 4 bodies, 3 confirmed dead, 1 in the hospital as we speak in a critical condition. And we'll keep an eye on how things play out in that particular area. And we'll be updating you tomorrow when they're able to get the military there to help retrieve the bodies. This is the Achim Wenchi in the Denchambor district of the Eastern region here on Ghana Tonight. But let's stay on the matters of Galamsey. And that's coming up next. Who are the persons named in the Professor Frimpong report that the IOCO will be investigating? You recall that yesterday we broke the news of that letter about these 2 senior NDC national executives, that's Joseph Yamin and Abanga Al-Hassan, who have been accused of engaging in illegal mining. Engineer Dr. Kenashigbe is going to be joining us in a bit on Zoom. We'll have a conversation on this after we lay the foundation on all of this and how things have been playing out. Dennis Babere-Wadam is going to be joining me in a bit. We'll have a conversation. But since this letter we published last night on Ghana Tonight was made public, the 2 individuals, that's Abanga and Joseph Yamin, have both spoken. They have denied the allegations of their involvement in illegal mining, even before IOCO starts any engagement or investigation into this matter. They have indicated that they are ready to honor the invitation of the Economic and Organized Crime Office if they are invited as per the dictates of that particular letter from the Attorney General to the Economic and Organized Crime Office. This is, earlier today, we spoke to the third National Vice Chairman of the NDC, that's Yakubu Abanga, who is also cited in this report together with Joseph Yamin. And this is what he had to say earlier today. Take a look.
I want to state equivocably clear that without any reservation that I have never and will never be involved in any galamsey mining activities at any point in my life, or behind any task force. These allegations, my brother, are baseless, malicious, just intended to impugn my heart and reputation, my brother.
On the claim that you've never been engaged in any illegal mining activity, do you own a mining concession?
A mining what?
Do you have a mining concession in your name or in a company you own?
Yes, I have a mining concession, but as you speak, my brother, I have no excavator working for me at anywhere. That is why I have stated clear that whoever has any evidence against me that I'm doing illegal mining, or I am destroying the forest reserve or the water bodies, or I have formed a task force that is going around to extort money for people, from people to me, I will forfeit my position as the national vice chairman of the party, my brother.
This allegation by the Small Scale Miners Association was made as at the 2nd of July thereabout. Did they have you caught wind of the allegation even before we saw the Attorney General write to Iyoko? Did you try to respond to them and understand the basis upon which they were making these accusations?
I came across a certain fake publication with a particular number, I think 0244 254231, that is registered to one Roland Agudogo. And then the name that issued the press worry or the press release was Andrew Aban, who is named in the release. And this mismatch exposes a clear case of impersonation and deceit. Their intent to tarnish the heart and reputation I have gained over the years will not watch, my brother. So I have stated clearly once again, I am ever ready to cooperate with Iyoko. Whoever thinks he has evidence against me, Abanga Yakubu Al-Hassan, the national vice chairman of the party, should bring it to Iyoko. And I'm prepared to meet Iyoko. That I am Nitu Forest, Galamsey, or whatever. I have never been involved in any Galamsey activity.
And your mining concessions as well, no mining is taking place there.
My brother, I'm saying I am not mining in any way. And if they have any evidence, my brother, they should produce it. That is why I have said that if anybody is able to provide any evidence, this is a very serious something. And this is about, my reputation is in line, my brother. This is about integrity matters. I have a principle in my in particular, anybody close to me will tell you that Abanga is very principled. And one principle I believe is that integrity is better than riches, my brother. So, not to go longer, briefly, whoever has any allegations against me should provide it to Iyoko. And I am fully prepared to meet Iyoko to defend myself.
Have you received any invitation from Iyoko as of now inviting you for these investigations?
As of today, I have not received any official communication from Iyoko. But should I be invited, I will avail myself and assist in any way necessary to bring clarity to the matter.
So that's Yakubu Abanga there, is the third vice chair of the NDC, and then also together with Joseph Yamin. Joseph Yamin is the national organizer of the NDC. He spoke to my colleague on our sister station, Akoma FM, in the Ashanti region, also denying this particular allegation and indicating the readiness to meet the Economic and Organized Crime Office on this particular issue if they are so invited. And you recall that in that letter, the Attorney General was clear that the scope of the investigation should be expanded to include the Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng report on illegal mining. Why is that really important in the scheme of things? Dennis Poberi Wadam Esquire is with me. We're going to get into it. We'll play back some conversations that I had with Professor Frimpong Boateng himself and Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe, who is the convener of the Ghana Coalition Against Illegal Mining. He's the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines. He's joining us on Zoom as well. Dennis, it's always good to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure being here, Alfred.
Perfect. Let me acknowledge the presence of Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe. Engineer, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Hello?
The convener of the Ghana Coalition rather than the CEO of the Chamber of Mines.
Okay, great. I'll stick with the Ghana Coalition, but, just to let people know as well, for the uninitiated, because you just assumed that office. It's worth it, isn't it?
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you very much, yes.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Let's get into this, the highlight of this Professor Frimpong report and reason why it's important to the scheme of things, how things are playing out now.
Well, so Alfred, since last night that we got this communication from the Office of the Attorney General indicating that some 2 persons from the NDC were to be investigated for illegal mining, and beyond them, there was supposed to be a full-scale investigation into other matters of illegal mining, including some allegations of illegal mining that were captured in that report, which many describe as explosive at the time that it was released in 2023 by Professor Frimpong Boateng. In that particular report, it's instructive to know that at least 21 persons were named in that particular report, having allegedly played various roles in illegal mining or something in relation to that. Of all those persons, you had 1 person who was unnamed. The person was deemed to be a senior figure in the MPP. There are 2 forestry and mining regulators in there, 3 media figures. There were 3 security personnel, 4 business operators, and 8 government or party officials. This is just a snapshot of what was captured in that particular report by the man who led that committee that was put together, an interministerial committee on illegal mining. He chronicled the challenges that was faced by the committee and how some key government and party officials played roles which he found to be a stumbling block in his line of work.
Right.
Some of the specific persons who were named in there, one of those persons is Gabi Asare Ochiridako. The allegation made against him was to the effect that he defended Heritage Imperial Limited, which was accused of large-scale mining, and that in doing so, they caused destruction to the environment, and that was the allegation that was leveled against Gabi Ochiridako. There was also Sir John Delete, and the allegation against him was to the effect that he gave permits for illegal mining in protected forests, and that he also enabled Chinese operators in his line of work. There was Joseph Albert Kwam. The allegation was that he used his position then to acquire multiple concessions, some of which he sold to some party members unlawfully, and that he also extorted funds, and as a result, it had political implications on him. Mind you, most of these allegations by these named persons, against these named persons, were dismissed or they challenged them. It's instructive to put that on record.
Absolutely.
There was Eko Ewusi. The allegation against him was that he sold seized excavators, and that he was also involved in extortion of money, also involved in illegal mining, and also money laundering. Also, there were serious allegations that were leveled against these persons. The next person, former information minister, then, the allegation against him was that he allegedly orchestrated media attacks to discredit anti-Galamsey advocate. This was in respect of a meeting that was allegedly held somewhere in Dodowa, in which some things were said. He declared that that meeting was just him honoring a Primpack training program together with the Bank of Ghana, and it had nothing to do with this. Again, you had the former senior minister, Ya Osafo, that he defended Eko Ewusi, despite that there was evidence against him, and that in doing so, he allegedly undermined the anti-Galamsey fight. You look at Donald Lentia, who is a co-owner of Heritage Imperial, operated destructive illegal mining in the forest reserves with military protection. That was an allegation leveled against him. Charles Owusu was in here. He was alleged to claim ownership of seized excavators in some areas and also involved in illegal mining with Chinese collaborators. We had the likes of Frank Esedu Bekwe, Protozoa as we call him. The allegation against him was that he called task force to release seized excavators, and that there were some suspected interference from his part because of where he found himself at the time, because he was in the presidency.
Absolutely.
There was also Lord Komi, Charles Niteku. He was accused of either engaging in or supporting illegal mining operations. So he was also named in there too. There was one Simon Iman, a Canadian co-owner of CNJ Alaska, same allegations of illegal mining implicated in matters of illegal mining activities. Kojo Ado, the same, that he assisted AUC in extortion and excavated sale. There was Seth Mante. He confessed to money laundering, allegations of confessions of money laundering from the excavated sale for AUC and John Oforiatta. There was also John Oforiatta himself, who was implicated in excavator sales and money laundering through Seth Mante. Alfred, the list goes on and on. Like I mentioned, there are at least 21 persons who have been mentioned in this. And mind you, when this document was made public, there was a lot of reaction. Indeed. Most of it being that almost all the persons named here denied the allegations leveled against them. Some of them actually took actions against the good old prof.
Yeah, they went to court on it.
Yes, they went to court on it.
Okay.
Now, what is important for us to note is how, Prof had indicated that he had given a copy of this document to the Chief of Staff then, and also a copy to the CID. However, along the line, there was an advice from the Office of the Attorney General then, as to what that could actually do by way of prosecution. And let me show you excerpts of that particular advice.
Let's get into it.
That was issued from the Office of the Attorney General. Parts of it reads, after a careful study of the report, the various documents and pen drives submitted to the police, we do not find any evidence in support of the allegations made against the persons cited in the report, with the exception of Seth Mante, John Oforiatta, and Eko Ewusi. That the professor refused to provide any further information to the police. He also declined to give a written statement, claiming his report is an embodiment of his statements and all the information he has on the allegations. That investigations by the police have not revealed any evidence in support of the allegations.
Right.
And they rounded up by saying that it is recorded that several attempts by the police to obtain further information from Professor Frimpong Boateng to substantiate the allegations made in the report and assist them in conducting further investigations prove fatal.
Absolutely.
And that the allegations are therefore bare and do not provide any basis for any criminal charge against the persons cited.
So this was the
Attorney General.
Godfrey Yabo Adame, you know.
The OSP took interest in this matter, invited Prof, and also questioned him. Okay. That was when reports went round that the Prof was arrested and all that. But he did indicate to us exactly what happened when he had engagement with the OSP.
I want us to put a freeze on that and bring in Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe, and then we'll go back to recall that conversation I had with Professor Frimpong Boateng almost a year ago. Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe, with this new development in the fight against illegal mining, the latest being the Attorney General's letter to the Economic and Organized Crime Office asking that it investigates some reports of the national organizer and the third vice chair of the NDC's allegedly being involved in illegal mining, which they have come out to also deny. How does all of this strike you? And then now this bit about the Professor Frimpong Boateng report being expanded to be included in this investigation.
Well, so thank you very much, Alfred. So you know the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, we had written to His Excellency the President to meet him. And he had indicated that we should first meet the sector minister. And so we met the sector minister, and that was our second or third meeting as a coalition with the minister. So that meeting was virtually the minister sitting in the stead of the president. And one of the major issues we raised was the issues around the politically exposed persons that are involved in Galamsey. One of the critical issues, again, is the whole issues of excavators being weapons of mass destruction. And it's worthy of note that there's some work that is being done on it. And we had already also petitioned His Excellency the President about the NDC MP for our win, who had been accused by his traditional authorities, and he having denied it, but we thought that there was something that needed to be done. We also raised the issue of the NDC MP for the NDC constituency chairperson for Axim, and then the NDC constituency chairperson for Dunko, who were also having been accused of being complicit in Galamsey or facilitating Galamsey or helping it. And so the issues around these politically exposed persons were in it. And the Professor Frimpong Boateng report was also another important one. The issues around Akonta mining was also another important one. And so I will tell you that it's not for nothing that the Attorney General would actually issue this document and make it public. So there is some evidence that is there that needs investigations. And it's important that the letter also talks about investigations. So I'm not surprised that those who have been named, are talking about the fact that they are not, guilty of any crime. It is not for them to say. It is for them to say when they appear before Iyoko. And we will be demanding that the same thing that has happened to Akonta Mining, the Akonta Mining Limited people, also is the same rigor that should be, put to this particular investigation so far as these people are concerned. But it is very commendable, and I think that is something that should be commended, that the government would, haul its official party officials before an investigative body. When I confronted His Excellency, the former president, when his Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and his regulator, the Minerals Commission, had accused Akonta Mining of being involved in Galamsey, what did the president tell me? He told me that he was not involved in Galamsey as we speak. He did not get that investigation going on. Though we know, even in that particular case, the Forestry Commission had done some evidence. The police people that we had petitioned had also done some evidence, and we know that there was evidence for which some work, some prosecution needed to have been done. And so this is a commendable one, but it is just the first step. And so Iyoko needs to know that the media would definitely be watching. The various, the coalition members, this is something that we really would be watching to find out how this is going to be done, the rigor with which this is going to be done. We don't want a situation that we saw in the past where, Tiger, remember Tiger, I had done some work and then we got the police to just, whitewash what had been done. So it is important that the Iyoko does a good job about it. But again, because of where we sit, I can tell you that there is a basis for which the Attorney General did not take this decision lightly at all. And so we would be expecting. And it's not only this. So those I have mentioned already are candidates. And in the from Supreme Court Boateng, there's the issue of Heritage Imperial as well, who were giving a prospecting license and had gone out there, with some number of excavators, to damage, these forest reserves and all. So we need to ensure, as the president himself said in October last year, that it is the kingpins. And unfortunately, the kingpins are the politically exposed person. As we speak, we have a lot of politically exposed persons in this current government. Some of them are collaborating with those from the former government, and they are perpetuating this criminality against us as citizens. And so this has to be looked into. We need to, in looking into this, we need to look at, the situations where you had lawful, state actors going into the field and they clash with, some illicit groups with as many as 70 military people. Well, how did they commandeer those military people in all of that? So Iyoko should look at that. We would be expecting that there will be a collaboration of the law enforcement agencies. So we'll be hoping that the police, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, various FIC, for example, would collaborate so that as we look into this, it is important to look into the funds, so the bank accounts of all of these people and people who are connected to them, so that we'll be able to use intelligence to be able to track this. We need to start considering the issues of illegal mining as the issues of funding terrorism and the drug trade. That's what it is that we are dealing with. And so that rigor ought to be brought to this. Currently, as we speak, the Galamsey is an organized crime thing that we're dealing with. And so it needs to be dealt with very, very carefully.
And you've described Galamsey operators as terrorists, essentially, who have put out in an existential threat that we're faced with. And Engineer, I appreciate your time on this, because this matter is going to be evolving in the coming days. You have indicated Iyoko would have to invite them, and then they would have to make their responses known as well on this. We'll see how the coming days will look like on this. Always, I do thank you so much for engaging with us tonight. Thank you. Engineer Dr. Kenashibe is the convener for the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey. Now, Dennis, you were referencing that interview I had with Professor Kwabena from Boateng, which he responded to exactly what the invitation by the special prosecutor was about.
Precisely so.
Let's take a look at that. The likes of Charles Bishu, the chair, that's the secretary to your committee, says that, I mean, you also have questions to answer, that you are not clean yourself.
That is his opinion. He can report me to any investigative agency or SHRA or whatever they want to do. I'm clean.
You are clean?
Yes.
You have no questions to answer during your tenure as the chair of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Illegal Mining?
If there are any questions, I'm prepared to answer the questions. Bring it on, bring the questions on, then we'll answer. But as I said, I don't want to go into what people say because you can't change some people's opinion, and let them go ahead. And if Ghanaians will believe them, we'll see.
Who is Eric Enchi?
You know him, I've described him and so on. You know, so see, Mr. Ocansey, I don't want to go and quarrel with Nananom elders in Chevi and so on if they say, see, this thing is 3 to 4 years old, and I'm going to quarrel with anybody if they say it didn't happen. Fine, that's their opinion. Well, I was, we waited at the lobby down there. That was my first time in that building. So then we got there around 10 o'clock, waited for the lawyer, my lawyer. When he came, we were taken upstairs, I think to the 7th floor or so, where the office is. And then we were ushered into a room. I was given a chair, and opposite me was the chief investigator. Next to me on my right were my lawyers, 2 of them, and then some officers from that office. So as soon as I sat down, the chief investigator came to me. I was sitting down. He put his left hand on my right shoulder and said, "Professor, you're under arrest."
He said you're under arrest?
Yes, under arrest. Why? Well, he says they are investigating corruption and corruption-related activities of the IMCIM, and that is the Inter-Ministerial Committee.
Which you were the chairman of?
I was the chairman of. Any specific thing that I've done? No, they're just doing their investigations. But all the same, I was on arrest. I find it a little strange. But then, that was my first time in such an office. They asked me whether I was ready for the interview. And I said, well, why not? I'll answer as much as I could. So I was questioned for about 2 hours or so, maybe a little bit more. And after that, I was told that I had to be bailed before I could be released. Of course, they don't even suggest self-recognizance bail. I needed somebody to bail me. So a friend of mine was down there at the lobby. He came up and bailed me. So I left, and they went with my friend to his house to see where he was staying.
Those are the 2 interviews that I had with Prof. Frimpong Boateng on the issues when it came up then and the details of this report. Now, what's the final one?
Yes, so this interview that you just watched, and in relation to the matters that the OSP took interest to, for which he invited Prof, are still matters which are still pending. So each time you look at the OSP half-yearly reports, one that we'll be expecting very soon for the half-year, he indicates how he's also taking interest in matters of the operations of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, aside the Charles Bishu matter. So this is still a matter which is pending before the OSP. Now that IOCO has been tasked to take over this matter, or to also go into this matter, it would mean that this matter has gone before the CID, it has gone before the OSP, and now going to IOCO. In respect of this report alone, we have indicated at least 21 people will be under the radar of IOCO.
And this ascending across Ocansey?
Yes, it's one of the 21 names.
Many of them?
Yes, many of them, including our very own Kweku Bako, who allegedly also shielded some miners who were in that space. So essentially, if they are going into this document, it's going to be a lot in the coming days.
Very much so. And the coming days is one to watch. Dennis Popewadam, thank you, as always, for coming through. This is Ghana Tonight. We're back shortly after this quick break. Stay with us.
Reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle.
From the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital.
From the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Reporting from Sunyani.
From the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News. Leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
Welcome back. Now, this is Ghana Tonight. The implementation of the Revised Energy Sector Levy Amendment Act 2025, Act 1141, officially took effect today. Essentially, what's happened is that some oil marketing companies, we're going to show them on the screen, this new levy structure announced by government and enforced by the Ghana Revenue Authority follows this previous postponement intended to assess the global market conditions. We've seen today that some oil marketing companies have started increasing the prices of petroleum products at the pumps, effective today. The major players, we see Goil PLC selling a litre of petrol for 12 cedis 88 pesos, up from 12 cedis 7 pesos. That's, we're saying that a jump that many really weren't expecting that much. And then we've also seen Star Oil also increase. That's one of the highest we've seen so far, from 10 cedis 99 pesos for petrol to 12 cedis 59 pesos. Diesel also saw a 1 cedi increase from 12 cedis 99 pesos to 13 cedis 99 pesos. We've seen Shell, we monitored from 12 cedis 8 pesos for petrol up to 13 cedis 29 pesos. That's about some 1 cedi 20 pesos increase there. And the many people were expecting just one cedi addition, to the prices of the petroleum products at the pumps, because the conversation was that it was just a 1 cedi increase. That we've seen some of the OMCs increase the prices of petrol and diesel above 1 cedi. So what's going on? Dan Kanamo, Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, is joining us on Zoom. Dan, I appreciate you joining us. So what's happening? Why are we seeing more than 1 cedi increase in the price of petrol and diesel at the pumps after this levy took effect today?
Let me explain it this way. Petrol did come down this window, and so it was naturally going to decline by some 2-3% on the world market. Diesel did go up by the same 2-3% this window. LPG came down. LPG is not affected by the 1 cedi levy. Petrol, diesel are both affected. But on the international market and per the numbers we have in-house, petrol would have declined. So you would realize some of the OMCs did not do the full 1 Ghana cedi on petrol. But on diesel, they have done more than 1 Ghana cedi a litre because the price was going to go up anyway, even without the 1 Ghana cedi coming into effect. And so that would explain why the discrepancies sort of exist. But overall, most of the OMCs are within what you would call within range. They are not going way beyond the market. I have seen the top 4 oil marketing companies as of today, they're playing within the 12, 13, 14, except for the special product, which is around 95, that most of them are around 15 Ghana cedis a litre for. But for petrol, diesel, at least for gold, it's still about 12.88 from the 12.07 they used to be. That will give you some 81 pesos. So you didn't get the whole 1 Ghana cedi if you took the gold pricing. Shell Total did go above 13. We are yet to get an understanding of how that is the case. Star Oil is also within the 12. Even in some of their outlets, they are doing 11. So they are within range, but like you indicated, 1 or 2 would have gone a little above the threshold that was expected. And that could simply be because for the window that we've just commenced, petrol did come down on the international market, diesel went up, LPG came down. And let me say this, we do not want the LPG market to take advantage unduly of developments to also say they are increasing prices, because the D-levy, in quotes, does not affect LPG. And for this particular window, LPG did go down by between 6 to 9%. And so if anything at all, the price of a kilogram LPG should not exceed 11.55 for this current window.
Duncan, I appreciate you for this, and at least you gave some expert analysis, some clarity to it. You're asking that there are some more questions that needs answers from these OMCs that went beyond the threshold. And that's one that will stay the same on tomorrow to get some clarity on. Thank you so much for joining us. Duncan Amoah is Executive Director of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, Executive Secretary. On behalf of the rest of the team, we do appreciate your company. Join us same time tomorrow for another conversation. My name is Alfred. Ocansey. Have a good night.
Ghana Tonight is brought to you by